If you have a Fendt tractor that is equipped with a FendtONE cab and loader suspension, you may wonder, how do we turn that loader suspension on and off? Well, let's go ahead and talk about that, because there's two ways. We can turn it to where it's on all the time, or we can set it to where it's speed dependent. So on our terminal, let's go ahead and we want to get to tractor functions, and we want to select the loader. So on this loader page down here is going to be our loader suspension settings, right? So suspension allows us, if we're going over rough terrain, it allows that loader to float up and down a little bit with hydraulic accumulators, so that you're not getting all that harsh ride back into the cab. So in order to turn loader suspension on, there's a button down here that says auto. So now that we go ahead and turn that on, now loader suspension is on. If we want loader suspension to be on all the time, we need to drag this all the way to 0.0. So what is the slider? The slider is for the speed at which you want loader suspension to turn on and off. So for example, let's go ahead and drag this up to 5.5. So the way that this will operate now is when you fall below that 5.5 miles per hour, it's going to turn off loader suspension. When you go above 5.5 miles an hour, it's going to turn on loader suspension. Now you may say, well, what use is that? What is that benefit is that to me? Well, I'm glad you asked. So if we are loading bales on a truck, when we go up to that truck, we want that loader to be as precise as we possibly can, right? We don't want to be having the loader, floating up and down and hitting the side of the truck or whatever the obstacle may be. The same goes for if you're doing some real fine control or grading work. When we're kind of going slow like that and we're trying to maybe spread gravel or whatever it is, we want that loader suspension off and that loader to be rigid, so that way we can make the most uniform application of whatever we're doing for that specific application. But if you still want it to be on all the time, just go ahead and drag that all the way off. If you did want it to be off all the time, just turn that back off until it's grayed out.